We stand together. Barrier Reef forever. Galloping home never. We stand together.
Messages of Save the Reef could be heard echoing all around JCU's Townsville campus last Thursday, as the student activist group RightNow protested to save the Great Barrier Reef from coal port expansion and climate change.
Today we protested against the expansion and building of 9 new coal terminals in Queensland. They want to expand the mining from coal from the Galilee Basin and ship all this coal out through the Great Barrier Reef. Basically, this is a huge threat to the Great Barrier Reef and all the marine life that lives there. And on top of that, if we burn this coal, this will be the second biggest contributor to global climate change by 2030.
RightNow made their way around campus starting from Uni Hall before touring through the Student Mall and up past the School of Creative Arts. They ended the protest by climbing the walls that mark the university's entrance. With chanting like "Save the Reef, Tony Burke, be a chief," the group certainly turned heads.
Save the Reef!
RightNow President Jonathan Bester said one of the main aims of the protest was to spread awareness about the problems facing the reef.
So yeah, it's a major issue, it's a big change for Australia, and yet so many Australian citizens are unaware of it, which is why this protest today had a twofold purpose. It was to pressure Tony Burke, the Environmental Minister, into placing a moratorium on coal port developments, but it was also aimed at the public and to engage the public with the cause and to make them realise what's been happening right under their nose and how the politicians are getting away with this without Australians having their say.
RightNow's protest reminds us that student activism, which was prominent in influencing public opinion in the 1960s and 70s, is still a powerful means of getting the message out there.
Well, student activism's always been the leading forefront of social change, or at least activism of a nation's youth if they perhaps don't have students. And yeah, it's student activism that saw things like the carbon tax put in. Student activism has had numerous victories in the past. It stopped nuclear war, it stopped nuclear testing, it stopped the Vietnam War. And I can't see why not that model cannot be applied to climate change. As young people in Australia, we have the biggest investment in its future because we're going to have to live here the longest.
Activist Tal Condolian said university students in particular are the country's future decision makers, and getting them involved now will mean positive outcomes in the future.
Acting now in this arena, at this stage, we got more of a voice towards the people who can actually get in the business, get enthusiastic about it and actually make a change.
Rally for the Reef formed part of a national day of action run by the Australian Youth Climate Coalition, AYCC, on May 11. This is Rebecca Smith reporting the tropics for JCNN.